Good afternoon, folks, and welcome inside the Credit Union Place here in Summerside, PEI, as we get set for puck drop between the Fundy Kraken and the Western Wolves. Thanks for tuning in live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Crothers, moments away from puck drop between the 9th place Kraken and the 8th place Wolves. Wolves coming into the game with a 5-13-1 record. They have 180 penalty minutes on the year. 31 goals for, 60 goals against. The Kraken come into this game with a 1-17 record. They have 198 penalty minutes, 8 goals for, 13 against. As we get set here for puck drop up at center ice. Thanks for tuning in to this mid-afternoon matchup. Taking the opening draw will be number 12, Hallie Murray. She'll face off against Mills, and we are underway. One back, the Wolves go off the far side wall. Duguay trying to chip it up and in and establish an early forecheck. Murray works it back into her own zone for Pinot. She goes D to D for Gamble. Reversed. Murray picks it up on the far side. She'll chip it up the wall. That'll connect, trying to chip it out, and lost into her feet is McAdam. Pino goes for a change. Got to be careful not to get too many players on the ice. It's turned over at center. Work back. Here's LeBlanc. And over the blue line. LeBlanc to the middle. LeBlanc loses the handle of the puck down low. Picked up by Blackure. Centering pass. Sent right back in onside. LeBlanc stops up. High slot. Shot there. Into the glove of Peyton Cozier. She'll get the start here in this mid-afternoon matchup against the Kraken. Peyton Crozier coming into the game, playing really well. Down 200 feet from her will be number 35, Mika Chasson. There's a shot there, deflected in the corner by Stevenson. She'll work it up the far side wall. Webster trying to chip it out, can't do so as it's pinched down by Bootlier. Centering pass, sent back down low. Somerville in the corner. She gets pinched off by Blackure. Puck worked up the wall. Cosman shot from the point. Patted away to the far side half wall by Crozier. Cycled down low, picked off Stevenson in there in the battle, trying to work it out. It's a 2-on-2 battle. Now puck chipped up into the middle, right onto the stick, as that's worked back through the neutral zone. Maya Stevenson turns it over at the far blue line, and back come the Kraken over the blue line, trying to work it in front. Gillen, and a delayed call here coming up, and looks like it'll be a power play for the Kraken. Is heading off for the Wolves will be number 10, Caden Thomas. She'll sit for 2 or less as a power play opportunity here in the early goings for the Kraken. They've come out to a hot start here in the opening minute and a half. Gillian will dig in here on the offensive zone draw. They scored their first power play goal of the season last night in a 9-2 loss. D-to-D, Bootlier fans on the shot. Chipped out into the neutral zone. Good job to get it out of harm's way for the Wolves was number 25, McAdam. Down low, Gillen. Shot off the side of the net and behind. Centering pass up and over to the far side. The Kraken look to get set up here. Richard high sticks the puck down in a stoppage of play here. 17:54 remaining in the opening 20. Face off. It's going to come outside of the zone, just in front of the Wolves bench. 4 of the 5 Wolves coaches wearing some nice hats over there on the far side, reminding me of the early Austin Matthews get up when he entered the league, as you see there. All 4 of the coaches. Face off, gonna go inside now as that puck worked up into the Wolves bench. Mills trying to win it back. Clearing attempt, held in by Bootlier at the point. Shot there under the pad of Crozier. She'll hold on for a whistle. Mills there trying to bang it home. She gets pushed out of the way as Murray gives her a little tap. Sydney Mills looking for the rebound. Couldn't bury it home. She'll dig in here once again on the offensive zone draw. Across from her will be Millie Stevenson. Back to the point, worked out though by the Kraken on a D-to-D attempt. Legier worked it back. Bootlier have to go all the way in behind her own net. Stevenson stops up net front. She'll back off and let Bootlier work it out through the middle of the ice. Ella Bootlier through the neutral zone. She'll stop up just in front of the blue line and turn it over. Webster with a break. Here's Webster. Good job on the back check by Legier. Take that opportunity away. Far side, Bex. She had 2 points last night in a 9-2 loss. As it's worked to center. Nice move. Cosman's got to stop up as she almost set herself offside. And worked back. Here's McNeil. She'll cut to the middle. Shot on. Sticked away by Chasson. Far side corner battle. LeBlanc trying to work it out. McNeil picks it up on the clearing attempt. Cosman collects it on the rebound off of the pads of Chasson. Clears it into the neutral zone. Puck sent in. Good job to get it down by McPherson. She'll hold up at the point. Rimming it up the wall. Wilcox through the neutral zone. Cross ice pass off the bench. Goes off the stick of Rickardson over to the far side. Wheeling in behind her net, looking over some options as Finley Blackure worked it up the wall. LeBlanc held it in momentarily. Now McNeil works it out. Pass intended for Duncan, knocked away Crosman. Now here's a chance. Duncan shot there, blocked by Bootlier. McNeil picking up the chance. Thomas trying to work it on a shot attempt in front. Can't get it to find the back of the net as Bootlier on the far side trying to chip it up the half wall area to the winger. LeBlanc in the neutral zone now. Gets center, dumps it in, peels off for a change. Rickardson's going to give chase. McGuigan wheels the back of her net. Backhand pass to the far side. That connects cleanly over on the far wall with Maddie Richards. She'll dump it in. Bootlier. Mills pressuring her. Gilliland. Reverse play. Bootlier under her stick. Up to the half wall area. Mills on the forecheck, and that'll be a penalty as Bootlier goes down. Played up the wall. Chipped up off the body. Trying to work it to Somerville. And that'll be touched up here at center ice by McAdam, and a delayed call will stop play, and a tripping call here as it'll be Kayla Mills is going to sit 2 for tripping. And another power play coming up here for the Kraken. Their second opportunity on the power play. They've come out with a good start. Pressuring the puck in the offensive zone. Rimmed around. Gamble trying to clear it out, and she does pass the stick of Sarah Duguay into the neutral zone. Far side, she'll cut across center, dumping the puck, no icing. Dickey couldn't connect with Mills. Far side, Duguay over her stick and out, and now Stevenson will pressure. Puck held just inside the blue line. Good back check over on the far side. Now it'll be worked back in. Offside though as Dickey goes down at the whistle. As a chance back the other way for the Kraken was worked in by Garnett, but offside at the line will stop play. 14:44 remaining in the opening 20 minutes of play. One back by the Wolves and cleared off to the side. Picked up Cosman, back for Bootlier. Over to the far side, touched back for LeBlanc. She'll take her time with it, spin away from some pressure, get her feet moving up ice, over the blue line. LeBlanc, she'll cut to the middle, let a shot go, blockered away by Crozier. Clearing attempt held in by Cosman. Down low, Blackure, D-to-D, McPherson cleared back under the skate of Bootlier and all the way down, 200. Out to stop that, Mika Chasson will leave it there and behind her net for Cosman. McNeil will back off as Cosman weaves her way. Centering pass goes off the shaft of the stick of Gamble on the forecheck. Duncan runs into Cosman. Bex picks up the loose puck and works it over the blue line. Bex stops up, breaking the ankles of the defenseman. She'll work it over here to the short side. Bootlier lets a shot go, blocker save, rebound collected. Worked back to Bootlier at the point. Bootlier shot blocked. Another delayed call on a 5-on-3 power play coming up as a cross check. It's going to be charge to Finley Blackure. She'll head off with 24 seconds remaining on the first penalty to Mills. A cross-checking call will go against the Wolves, and a 5-on-3 opportunity here in the first period for the Kraken to open the scoring. Gillen digs in here on the draw against Murray. Murray wins it, but Somerville on the shot sent wide. Past Crozier, Somerville collects her own rebound in the corner. Back to Duguay at the point. Sarah Duguay will walk to the middle. Back down low, Somerville. Cycling, Gillian, and behind the net. Back for Somerville on the half wall. Down low, Somerville. Spins it up top. Duguay's shot, tipped on, sent wide though off the pad of Crozier. Murray collects in the center, chipping it up ahead. Mills out of the box. She'll get to it first. Here's a chance right out of the box, right into the action. Mills trying to work it out of the corner. Can't do so. Turns it over back the other way. Wilcox through the neutral zone. Pressured by Kayla Mills on the back check. Past Somerville. Sydney Mills steps up. As Somerville down low, McGuigan trying to get it. She'll get it. Now clearing attempt off the stick. Not out Legier centering. Cosman at the point. Shot blocked on the way to the net. Clearing attempt goes over the stick of Cosman and out. And Mills will pressure. Picking that puck up over the blue line. Shot sticked away by Chasson. To the far side, Legier picks it up. Centering pass right onto the tape of Somerville in the neutral zone. Through center. Somerville dumping it in, peels off for a change as McPherson back for it. McPherson clearing attempt, picked off Dickey momentarily. Far side, McAdam can't clear it out. Now it goes down, full 200 by Richards. She heads off for a change. Pinot will hop out for her. Cosman clearing attempt, can't get out. Stevenson read that perfectly, sent down for McAdam. She can't get to it. Marshall chipping it up the wall, worked out into the neutral zone. Toe drag attempt, bobbled by Garnett. A delayed offside, that'll stop the Kraken from entering the zone cleanly. Worked back for Marshall in the neutral zone. Marshall's attempt, fanned on, centering pass, Richard kicks it wide. Garnett trying to work it over the blue line. She gets taken down, play's gonna continue. Pino, reverse play up the wall, that'll do it for the power play. Back to 5-on-5 action here. Dickey on the turnover, shot, sticked away by Crozier. Rimming it up to the far side, McAdam will leave it there. Murray right into the body of the official. Back the other way, Garnett over the blue line, turns it over. That'll be worked back through the neutral zone. Chipping it in. Stevenson up ahead. Here's a chance. Webster shot. Chasson save. What a pass there by Stevenson. And in all alone was Webster. Couldn't beat the body of Micah Chasson. Here she gets the nod. Last night was Mara Gillespie in between the pipes for the Kraken. Face-off glove hand side of Chasson. LeBlanc can't win it. Shot there. Gamble's rebound. Set loose and cleared away by Legier. Legier will reverse it all the way to the short side. McGuigan's going to step up from the point. Keep it in. McGuigan down low. Shot there on the backhand. Goes through the crease to the far side. Gamble steps up. Puck centered. Loose in there as LeBlanc clears it. Gamble at center. Dumps it back in. She'll peel off for a change. Play continues. Hallie Murray down low. Murray on her backhand, trying to work it back to the point. That goes under the stick and out into the neutral zone. D. McPherson will step up. She'll take the blue line and work it in. Down low, McPherson on her backhand, drops the shoulder, centering pass out in front. Slap shot blocked by Legier. Off the rebound on the block, shot there by McNeil. She'll pick it up in behind the net, walk it out front. McNeil's shot blocked once again by the Kraken defenseman LeBlanc. That's actually, she's a centerman. Blackure works it D. Shot there, McPherson looking for a stick in front. Rebound cleared back to the point. Blackure's shot blocked by Rickardson. Far side, Legier collects, works it up ahead. Little takes a bump through the neutral zone. Can't get it in deep, turned over at center and worked back here by the Wolves. McNeil cross the ringette line, shot blocked by Cosman. Over to the far side corner, Wilcox centers. Cosman collects it, works it up for Heidi Becks. Becks now through the neutral zone. On her forehand over the blue line, trying to center for Gillen. Too far into the far corner. Richards clears it up. Trying to work it out, can't do so as That was Charlie Webster. She had the best opportunity so far for the Wolves on a breakaway, but can't beat the body of Chasson. Marshall clears up to the wall. McGuigan steps in from the point and keeps it down low on net. Boutlier collects the rebound in behind. Couple stop-ups there and behind on a couple spinning moves. Boutlier, couple moves in front of her net, almost lost the puck. She'll collect it. Far side pass goes off the backhand of Wilcox and trying to get it back in. Mills sends it in deep. Marshall will collect it in behind the net. She'll wheel. Chip play up off the boards for Bex. Gamble reverses past her. Murray collects the puck. D to D, chipped up into the neutral zone. Duguay sends it back in. Misha Pinot will collect and wheel. Pinot up the short side through the neutral zone. Over the blue line, Pinot cuts to the far side, gets the puck knocked off her stick. Good defensive play by Duguay. Pinot working it up ahead. Somerville picks it off. Somerville and Garnett now with the puck. Shot there. Held on to. No rebound by Crozier. 8:14 remaining. Opening period. Still no score in this one. Wolves with 60 goals for on the season. 60 goals against, 31 for. The Kraken with 8 goals for and 133 against. A block shot worked back through the neutral zone over the blue line. Taken out. Shot there though. And a delayed call coming up here. Looks like it's going to be for a hooking. Wait to see who it is against. But Thomas had a step. She gets hauled down. And that'll draw the call. Power play upcoming for the Wolves. 8:01 remaining. Hooking call getting charged there. Looks like it'll be number 19. Gabrielle Legier is going to sit for 2 or less in a power play now for the Wolves. Work back, Bakir. D to D, fans on it. Picked up though and collected far side as McPherson waits up in the high slot area. Up in the point, she'll cornerback the power play. Blackure down low. Duncan takes her time on the half wall. Far side pass, no one over there. Thomas will have to get to it. Can't do so, cleared out all the way down by Little. She'll give chase. Crozier out to leave it there for her defenseman. Stopped up, Blackure in the corner. Blackure centering pass goes off the stick. Boutlier collects it. Can't get it all the way down. Little in front of the Wolves bench trying to chip it in. As the Wolves work it back, here's Duncan over the blue line. She'll work it in, drop pass inside the line. McNeil's shot paddled away into the corner. Duncan back to the point. McGuigan walks, shot, rebound, and behind. Chasson cleared back to the point. McGuigan gets a stick on it, holds the line. Up at the point, shot there, rebound, still loose, and they bury it home. The Wolves open the scoring on the power play. Wait to see who got it. It looks like it was off the stick of Webster. And Charlie Webster, now on the other side of the score sheet, she has a goal. 1-0 lead here on a power play goal. Puts the Wolves up by 1. Face off, battled for here, just inside the blue line into the feet. Still trying to pick it up and get possession. Now it's chipped in. Stevenson will give chase. Rimmed around by Duguay to the short side and past McGuigan. Somerville's going to give chase. Richards will go all the way back for it. Pressured by Bex. Gets a stick on it. Bex turns it over. Somerville, high slot, shot sent wide. Duncan picking up the assist on the opening goal. Webster bearing it home. Chipped up, Marshall sending it right back in. McGuigan picks off the dump-in attempt, and she'll pick it up through the neutral zone with some speed. Dumped right in on Chasson. She'll steer it into the corner. Duguay from the far side will rim it around. stepping up. Gamble read it perfectly, cycling down low for Hallie Murray. Murray centers in front. Mills shot. Rebound still there. Has a glove save. Cleared away by Duguay. Pino shot. Loose in front. Cleared away. McAdam down low. She gets pinched off into the end boards by Duguay. Puck loose. Work back to the point. Pino looking over her options. She'll elect to dump it back down low for Mills. Mills cycles for McAdam. McAdam goes behind the net. Murray down low. Centering pass, shot, rebound. And Mills trying to bury it home, but up for the task was Chasson, as two opportunities for Mills and McAdam came point blank in front. Chasson shutting the door, keep her team trailing by 1. 5:11 remaining in the opening period. McNeil on the face-off in the offensive zone against her counter numerical partner in Somerville. Battled back to the point. Gamble shot tipped wide by Boutlier to the far side. Thomas and Boutlier will battle. Gilliland picks it up and works it now into the neutral zone, chipping it up ahead for Dickey. Too far for her. Thomas centers. Duncan, nice pass. Here's a chance for the captain. McNeil in alone. Backhand scores! What a pass from Kinley Duncan to send her captain in all alone, making no mistake on the breakaway. In all alone was Callie McNeil. In all alone on the breakaway, netting it backhand past Chasson. And that'll be the second point of the night, second assist coming off the stick of Kinley Duncan. Chipped up, right back. Here come the Wolves looking for more. Off the face-off, worked back. McPherson's shot patted away by Chasson to the half wall. Garnett trying to chip it out. She centers the pass. Mills almost colliding with her own teammate. Stevenson works it back in. Over the blue line, down low. Stevenson in behind the red line and back to the point. Shot by Blackure, sent wide. So Callie McNeil picks up the goal to make it 2-0 here. Under 5 minutes remaining in the opening frame. Puck to center ice. Blackure picks it off and chips it into the Kraken bench. That'll stop play. What a nice move from Callie McNeil to work it around the goalie and tuck it in on her backhand along the ice. On the breakaway, give her team a 2-0 lead. Is the captain leading the way. Richard, shot wide. Picked up, McGuigan rims it around. Mills can't control. Marshall holds the line, sends it right back in deep. Richards, backhanding it up the short side wall, getting reversed to her. Richards goes D to D. McGuigan works it to McAdams. Centering pass for Murray. 2-on-1. Mills and Murray through the neutral zone. Murray down on the far side. Backdoor pass. Shot. Pad save by Chasson. Turned over down in the corner. Murray, high slot, works it back to the point. Richards for McGuigan. Up top. Shot there. Looking for a stick. Rebound. Murray trying to bang it home. Puck in the feet. Still there. Loose. Cleared in the behind the net. Somerville collects it. Trying to work it up the wall. Good pressure, though, by McAdams. She'll reverse it. Here's a chance. Murray in front. Can't get it home past the pad. Picked up. Cutting back in the corner is LeBlanc. She works it up the wall. Somerville gets stepped in on by McGuigan. Shot set wide past the blocker. Over to the far side. Richard. Up into the neutral zone. Just before center. Puck battled for. Lost in some feet. Still there. Duncan has 2 assists. Dumps it off the skate, though, and out into the neutral zone once again. Puck battled for just by the blue line in front of the Kraken bench. Marshall takes a tumble. Here's a chance. McNeil over the blue line. McNeil shot into the chest and held on to Thomas, crashing the net, and that'll draw a penalty. Thomas crashed the net, and she'll go for a slash and a power play upcoming for the Kraken. here late in the second period. 2:19 remaining in the opening period. A slashing call getting charged to number 10, Caden Thomas, and a face-off on the power play will go to the far side, to the glove side of Peyton Crozier. Gillian will dig in on the draw against McNeil. McNeil scoring the second goal on a breakaway pass from Kinley Duncan on a beautiful feed to send her in. Duguay was in between stepping up or backing off. Almost caught flat-footed. Rickardson, short side, just inside the blue line. Got to be careful. Gamble works it back. Duncan in there to help out. Clearing attempt, held in. Legier shot into the chest of Crozier. She'll hold on for a whistle as Gillian was there looking for a rebound. Coach Drew Johnson and Jake Lozier on the bench for the Kraken, looking to cut the lead down in half as they trail by 2. Power play up. And a 5-on-3 coming up on a unsportsmanlike call from the coach over on the bench. As I was mentioning, a perfect time to cut the lead in half. A 5-on-3 opportunity for a whole minute and 40 seconds here on an unsportsmanlike call by the coach for the Wolves right off the draw. Steered away, though, by Crozier. Shot sent wide past the blocker. Far side, Boutlier collects. She'll walk it in. Shot. Rebound. Crozier couldn't find it. Sent up over the net. Picked up, stopping Dickey. Back to Duguay. She'll walk it down. Let a shot go. Scores! Sarah Duguay from the point and a 5-on-3 goal. Cuts the lead in half as the Kraken have some life late in the period. Still a minute and 34 seconds remaining on the power play on the unsportsmanlike call as they will continue here on the power play. As it was worked back to the point, Duguay let the shot go as Crozier couldn't find it, and it worked past her blocker, and a 2-1 game now here inside the Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI. Boutlier for Cosman. She'll cut up through the middle. Nice move by Cosman around 2. Down the far side on her backhand. She'll drive it down low. Trying to center. Blackure picks it off. Rimming it around. Trying to hold it in. Good job to get there was Garnett. Dump and attempt goes off the skate and back. Mills will pressure Boutlier in her own zone. Boutlier's going to cut back, take her time, evade some pressure. Boutlier, move around one, another move around the other. She'll weave through the center of the ice, down and over the blue line. Boutlier gets taken out, no call on the play. They'll play on. McPherson picks it up, wheels the back of her net with some speed, looking for Mills at the center. Here's a chance. Mills, one-on-one. Garnett on the back check, gets enough stick on it. And a pad save by Chasson. Boutlier down low. She'll reverse him behind her own net. As that'll be collected by Cosman. Worked up to the point. Here's a chance in front. McNeil couldn't collect the puck. Turnover, McNeil. Works it down low on her backhand. Callie McNeil has a goal here already. The go-ahead goal, actually, for the Wolves as LeBlanc stops up in behind. She'll take her time. 15 seconds remaining on the clock here in the opening period. 2-1 lead for the Wolves. They're shorthanded for about 9 seconds. 1 second separates the score clock and the penalty clock, so it'll be a 1 second power play getting carried over into the second period. But after 1 period of play, the Kraken 1, Wolves 2. We'll be back for a second period of action after this short intermission live on High Button Sports. Welcome back here inside the Credit Union Place here in Summerside, PEI, as we get set for a second period of action between the Fundy Kraken and the Western Wolves. A power play to start the second period for the Kraken, but it'll only be for 1 second as the face-off at center ice between Mills. She'll face off against number 25, Sydney Mills, as Kayla and Sydney will face off at center ice and get the second period underway, and a delayed icing call here, whistled down a little bit late, and that'll be an icing call on the opening draw. Face-off's going to go all the way back down to the Kraken end. Looks like it's going to be to the blocker side over to the left over there. Murray's going to dig in, has Mills on the wing, so Mills will push over to the wing as Murray out of the box now, serving the unsportsmanlike, the 2-minute unsportsmanlike charge to the Wolves bench. As centering pass, Little picks it off, trying to chip it past Gamble, can't do so. Puck work back now and out into the neutral zone. Pinot's going to have to go all the way back into her own zone to grab it. Up off the boards, can't connect cleanly with Gamble as it will now work back LeBlanc. She'll regroup it in her own zone. Stretch pass picked off by Mills. That's Kayla Mills. Down low, turned over. LeBlanc working it up into the neutral zone. Chipping that puck in as Dickey. She's got an assist on the second goal by Sarah Duguay. Puck battled, centering in front, cleared away, all the way down. Will it have enough juice for icing? No, it will not. Cosman will pick it up, work it D to D. Here's Boutlier in her own zone, working it up the wall into the neutral zone by the red line. Puck into the feet of Webster and sent back down. McPherson just inside of her blue line, stops it, D to D. Blackcure trying to connect with Stevenson, and it's sent back. Blackcure diving for it, clears it away. Dickey, though, shot sent wide as Blackcure lost her footing, but got it just enough to get it away from Dickey, long enough to push her wide, and a delayed icing call here. Thomas is going to get to it first. That'll take away as Marshall and Thomas go down in the corner. Worked up to the half wall. There's Catherine Dickey trying to chip it out. Good job to hold the line. McGuigan in her skate will hold it just barely momentarily. Her skates got pushed apart. She pretty much does the splits, crawls across the blue line. Onside, work back. Richards dumps it in low. Thomas to it first. Centering in front. McNeil can't get it. Now it'll be buried home. Duncan gets her third point of the day as she picks up a goal. She already had 2 assists. Duncan makes it 3-1 now for the Wolves. Kinley, Duncan, whatever she had for breakfast, she might want to stick with it as she has now 3 points and a 3-1 lead. She's been in on all of them. 2 primary assists and now a goal to add on to that. Thomas is going to pick up the assist. McNeil tried to get her stick on it, couldn't do so. So I believe it'll be the defenseman, Maddie Richard, on the dump in to the far side over to the far corner for Thomas, who centered it, and right onto the stick of the hot hand of Kinley Duncan. Here's Murray, toe drag, blocker save on the toe drag shot around the defenseman. Mills down in behind the net, pressured by Cosman. Mills centers, Murray poked off of her stick. LeBlanc getting back, helping out defensively. So McNeil is going to get the assist. She must have had a tip on it on the way through as it's worked back here. The Kraken centering pass. Somerville trying to get it past Pinot all the way to the far side wall. LeBlanc got to be careful not to get too many players on the ice. Is the middle of a change. Duguay, she's got the lone goal for the Kraken here in the opening period. Picked up, dropped back for Duguay. Trying to work it back for Little in the neutral zone. Poked away, though. Webster trying to dump it in. A little bit of ping pong here going on as Stevenson will say enough of that and send it in. Down low, deep, Duguay. She'll rim it up the glass. Up to the point. Chipped out by Little. as now the Kraken will try to give chase. Stevenson on the back into her own zone, trying to chip it out. Wilcox on the pressure, turns it over. Rimmed in behind of her own net was Finley Blackcure. Smart play, Webster just chipping it down. Will it get enough, though, as it goes all the way down? Bootler in a foot race with Stevenson and icing the call. Thanks for tuning in here this afternoon, live on High Button Sports from the Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI. 3-1 the score here for the Wolves, 16:05 remaining in the second period. One back. Gamble flips it into the neutral zone, so that was McPherson, as Legier's going to give chase. Up off the boards, back into the neutral zone under the stick of Becks. Puck left there, a couple skating over top of it as they battled for it. Puck to center and worked back into her own zone. Heidi Becks, where's the C for the Kraken? Reverse play to Bootler. She'll take the puck in behind. Work it back in front of her net now. Going to be careful not to turn the puck over. Bootler through the neutral zone. Keeps her feet moving, down to one knee, chips it in with one hand. And a delayed offside call as a change was going on the other side of the ice. Wheeled out McPherson through the neutral zone. Dumps it in as she gets over the red line. She'll peel off for a change. LeBlanc picks it up, stops up behind her net. Reverses to the far side, spinning. Once up the wall to Becks. Centers, trying to connect with Dickey. Dickey in behind her, turned it over. Delayed offside, now onside. As they had to wait up. Allowed the Kraken to make a play on it. Works back. Duguay behind her own net. Duguay pressured from each side. Works up the wall. McAdam off the bench. Holds it in. Finds McNeil. Thomas. Far side. Trying to work it to the front. McAdam centering backhand shot. Can't connect to the net. Richard steps in. Lets one go. Blocked. And worked out into the neutral zone by the Kraken. And that was LeBlanc as it gets sent all the way back in by Richards. Out to play it. Chasson. Stops it up for Bootler. She'll chip it over to the far side. Rickardson's going to go down low. Worked around her. Here's a chance. Mills off the half wall. Shot into the chest. Rebound. Over to the in behind the net. Dickey getting stepped up on there by Richard. It chips past her and out into the neutral zone. Garnett over the blue line. Is going to draw a call here as McAdams and her will slide all the way down into the boards together. As it'll be a tripping call potentially. As McAdams heads to the box. 2 for hooking is going to be the call from the official. As Aislinn McAdams will sit, and a power play opportunity to get back within one here for the Kraken in the second period. 14:15 remaining on the clock. A little stoppage here. Kick out Mills, now in is Little to take the draw. The offensive zone draw for the Kraken. On the draw, one back. Pino trying to work it out. Up off the glass. Bootler gloves it down, but not enough to keep it in. Now here's a chance. Short-handed. Stevenson shot off the end of the stick. Rebound. Sat in behind Chasson. She'll pat it away. Rebound. Loose in front. Cleared back to the point. Pino shot off a stick and high. Stevenson, far side. Short-handed up the wall. Reverse for Gamble. Down the wall. Gamble shot into the chest and held on to by Maka. Chasson. Chasson getting tested here. That puck goes off the knob of her stick. Sat in behind her. She calmly patted it away as she was down her butterfly, pushing it into the corner. And an offensive zone draw here. Short-handed. McNeil just pushes it forward. Legier around the back of the net. Working it up. Getting pestered by Webster. She knocks it away, but Richards will collect it. Up the wall. Richard over the line on her backhand. Down low. She'll drop the shoulder and try to get things set up. Pressured, though, by McPherson. Dickey in there to try to help out. Up to the half wall. McNeil pressures. Down low. Centering off a body and behind the net. As that'll be battled for Dickey. Centering pass, worked back to the point, past Legier, and a chance for McNeil. Duguay's going to get back. Good job there to turn the afterburners on to get back and make it a nice defensive play on that puck as Callie McNeil was looking for her second goal of the game as she tried to get in alone shorthanded. Duguay holds the line. Nice job there. She works it for Bootler in between. Kind of handcuffed her as it's cleared out into the neutral zone. Going to go back. Duguay once again, pressured by McNeil. Wilcox, far side, gets center, works it up ahead in behind LeBlanc. D-to-D for McPherson. Centering pass, trying to connect. Bootlier gets enough on it, but picked up. Duncan, shot off the crossbar. Kinley Duncan with 3 points already in the game, and she just rang one off the post and the crossbar. Right on the corner, I guess you could say, of the post. You could call it the cross. There where the crossbar meets the post. As it's worked out now, Garnett chipping it. She'll chase. Too far away from her. Past Wilcox. Now a chance. Murray has a step. Bootlier's going to have to get back out of the box. McAdam trying to work it in. McAdam down the wall, trying to cycle it down low. Turnover. Mills shot glove save. And held on to by Chasson for a stoppage play and a whistle. Here 12:02 remaining in the second period of action. 3-1 score for the Wolves. They lead by 2 on an offensive zone draw. Digging in will be Stevenson. That's number 16, Miley Stevenson. Wins it back. Richard. Shot, blocked. Marshall in the corner. Battles with Stevenson. Worked it up the wall. Webster trying to work it to Richards. And off the dumping attempt. Little battles. Stevenson leaves it there for her sister. Stevenson shot off the crossbar. As that shot was Maya Stevenson, let it go. As Millie left it there for her off the half wall. And 2 crossbars here in back-to-back shifts for the Wolves as they lead, trying to extend. Little on the turnover. McGuigan picks it up, though, and here's a chance. McGuigan has Stevens with her. Maya Stevenson, and McGuigan shot scores! Brooke McGuigan on the 2-0. Snaps it past the blocker, and a 4-1 lead now for the Western Wolves here in the second period. McGuigan on the turnover takes it all the way down and snaps it home past the blocker of Chasson, and she'll extend the lead to 3 now. A shot there from defenseman Brooke McGuigan. Thomas trying to work it off the centering draw in deep. Can't do so. Duguay now works it up. Gillen tries to get it in deep. She gets taken out. Work back. Thomas through the neutral zone. In over the line. Thomas will try to chip it in deep one-handed. Duncan centers off the skate. Thomas picks it up. Works it back to the point. Gambles. Shot. Sent wide as in front was Duncan. Pino steps in to the far side. Too far to the reach of Thomas is Dickey now with it. Dickey through the neutral zone over the blue line. She'll elect to dump it in. Picked up, though, by Pino. Works it up the wall and into the neutral zone. Collected by Bootlier. Ella Bootlier, far side pass. Touch there for Richards by Dickey. She works it over and a delayed offside call here. As Dickey goes down on the way to the net and an offside will send them back for a face-off in the neutral zone. Kraken trail by 3. They look to get a spark here halfway through the second period of play in this mid-afternoon matchup. Battled here at center ice. McAdam and Mills. Bootlier trying to turn it back up into the offensive zone. Turns it over. Sent back past her by McPherson. She'll go back for it. Pressured by McAdam. Bootlier stops up. She'll wait. Use her net as safety. Turns it over, though. Centering pass. Can't connect. Garnett chipping it into the neutral zone. McPherson up ahead for McAdam. Picked off Garnett here at center ice. McPherson stepping up, getting it sent past her. Good thing Black Cure was there and covered. She'll take it behind, stop up, and take refuge behind her net. She'll chip it off the boards and into the neutral zone. That connects with McAdam over the line. Down the wall, McAdam drives the net on her forehand and behind. She goes down low, works it back to the point. McGuigan, the most recent goal scorer for the Wolves, walks, shot, sent wide off past the glove. As Richard steps in, sends it to the far side. McGuigan will step in from the point and control it down in behind the net. Centering pass off the stick of Chasson, collected by Garnett. Trying to chip it past Murray. Can't do so as it collects now, trying to chip it her way in. Here's LeBlanc. Has Somerville driving back door. LeBlanc in the corner, stops up towards the net. Sticked away by Crozier, back to the far side. On the half wall is Little. Lauren Little cycles down low. Somerville gets to it by the key. Murray, lost sign down low. Centers, LeBlanc diving at it off the point. Shot, rebound, paddled away. Cleared out of harm's way. Duguay, though, gets it poked off of her stick. Is Stevenson tries to break through. Webster in there. Webster opened the scoring for the Wolves here in the first period. Pinot got to wait just offside as she entered the line. Couldn't hold herself up enough as Duncan was trying to get out of the zone. And a offside call will be charged to the Wolves. 8:32 remaining in this second period of action. The Wolves have jumped out to a 3-goal lead here in the second period. McNeil on the not offensive zone draw, on the draw just outside the offensive zone. Duncan just holds the line and sends it in deep, where the Wolves will look to establish a forecheck. Chipped past Duncan, worked back. Not able to hold the line was Pinot. McNeil's going to have to retreat and tag up. Cosman, cross-ice pass. Misha Pinot steps up, picks it off, and works it back in over the blue line. Shot blocker save, steered away by by Chasson. Wilcox will pick it up. Far side, McNeil turning it right back in to the zone, as offside will be the call, as she made one too many moves and Duncan couldn't hold back enough to keep it onside. 7:52 remaining here in the second period. Face off just below us to the left. And a draw Murray will dig in for. One to the wall, though, as battle will continue just inside the Kraken zone. Bex will come out with the loose puck, work it up. Richard chipping it past the step up over on the far side. Richard shot glove save calmly by Crozier. She'll freeze it up for a whistle. And the faceoff's going to go to her blocker side now. She has had a little bit of action. She's allowed a 5-on-3 goal from a point shot from Sarah Duguay, the lone goal so far for the Kraken. Worked around the wall. McPherson trying to center for McAdam in behind her, and they'll have to regroup. Murray behind her net. Pressured, works up the wall for Mills, as Sydney Mills tries to dump it past, as that was Kayla Mills on the half wall trying to chip it out. Work through the neutral zone. McPherson on a nice move, chips it in. She'll give chase. Somerville in there, trying to work it out. Here's a chance. McAdam in front, can't bury it home. Back to the point. Blackcure's shot in front. Rebound still into the feet of McAdam. She can't get a stick on it. Blackcure from the half wall. Tried to center. Clearing attempt, held at the line by McPherson. Just onside as it teetered across the blue line. She'll cycle it in down low and retreat back to the far side point. To her position off the bench. That's Millie Stevenson down low. She pokes it ahead for Mills. Kayla Mills on the half wall. Trying to work it off of the wall. LeBlanc, Somerville in there. LeBlanc coming out with the puck. She'll stop up down low, working it back for Summerside, short side. Richard steps up. Holds the line. Stevenson towards the net. Right onto the tape. That goes all the way down. Will it have enough for icing? Goes just past the goal crease of goaltender Peyton Crozier for an icing call. 6:19 remains on the clock. No change for the Kraken on that icing call. And a face-off to the glove hand side of Mika Chasson coming up as Miley Stevenson will dig in. She's out there with her sister Maya Stevenson and Webster. That's Charlie Webster. She opened the scoring here in the first period. McGuigan shot fanned on, and a delayed call here coming up as the Kraken touch the puck and a head contact call. Boutlier looks around. LeBlanc kind of confused as well, and LeBlanc's going to sit. I didn't quite see it. Must have been right off the draw. And it'll be LeBlanc will sit for 2 or less. A power play opportunity coming up. So Haley LeBlanc in the box for head contact. 4 minutes for head contact. So a double minor penalty coming up here. Can the Wolves extend their lead to more? sent down, no icing. Crozier's going to stay in her net. McGuigan picks it up, has some pressure, cuts to the middle, drops it, and into the neutral zone now. Worked. Here's Stevenson with speed, cuts to the middle. Stevenson, too far out of her reach, though, as she poked the puck on the play to the middle. Back for McGuigan, shot sent wide, past the post of the glove side of Chasson. Richards picks it up, takes her time, dishes it out for Stevenson over the blue line. Stevenson down low, stops up, looks to set things up. One hand pokes it to Richards. Poked past her and cleared down by Little. No icing on the play as they kill off the first 50 seconds of the 4-minute power play for the Wolves. Duncan, cross ice pass, too far out of the reach. Will it have enough for icing? Goes past Cosman all the way down. No icing on the play. That could have been an icing call. She was definitely on her side of center. Puck worked back to the slot. Shot, pad save. Chasson, another one chipped over top. And Thomas couldn't bury it home. She'll collect. McNeil's shot blocked. Rebound off the head of Duncan. Delayed high stick called. And a high stick call here. And it'll force the face-off outside as the puck on the rebound shot from McNeil goes off the head. And it looked like trying to maybe headbutt it in was Kinley Duncan. Trying to get her 4th point of the game any possible way she can. Even if that means trying to headbutt a pass in, or a rebound in the air. Work back, nice little touch there for Thomas. She'll chip it in and give chase on the forecheck. Thomas cuts back in the corner, controlling the puck up the half wall. Gonna cut to the middle, shot off the pad, steered away to the far side. Beck's chipping it out. Past the pinch on the far side by Gamble. She took a little bit of maybe a gamble trying to keep it in, but the Kraken with all 4 of their players at center ice. Now they'll pressure a little pass. Drop pass there for McNeil. Gamble will regroup it. She'll take it up the wall. Up ahead for McAdam, gets a stick on it and in. Beck's first to it in her own zone. Good job by Heidi. Beck's covering for her defenseman. Puck goes off a couple skates and it'll stay in the corner. They've successfully killed off the first 2 minutes of the double minor against LeBlanc. Puck work back to the point. Blackure walks in, shot blocked by Duguay. Duguay with the lone goal and now doing it defensively. Blocked by Legier into the corner. McGuigan unassisted. Here's McAdam. Generating chance. Murray. Pad save. Cleared up to the point. Just held in at the line. Good job by McPherson on the stretching out effort. Centering pass. Goes all the way through the middle of the ice for Murray. Reversing it back. Blackure. Shot there. Clearing attempt. Gets out. Garnett just to center though and work back. Here's McPherson dumping it right back in. And that'll be back. Duguay. Sending it down off the bouncing puck past Blackure. And down for the icing. Puck worked right back though. Chipped off. His nice job to read that play was Boutlier. She'll send it right back in. Kill off some more time. 44 seconds left on the power play for the Wolves. The Wolves on the power play this year currently sitting at 10% on the year, as the Kraken's penalty kill sitting at 67% on the season. Webster in her feet. Little trying to kick it up and in. Battles with McPherson. Chipped up ahead. Stevenson chipping it up. Trying to connect with her sister Maya. She's got a goal in the game. Millie takes a bump. She'll give it back to Little. Maya in there with Millie and McPherson. Miley and Millie, and a punch there from Boutlier, and that's going to draw a call. And another 4-minute power play coming up. And heads up, the official had a hold of Stevenson. She tried to get away, and Stevenson slow to get up. She's a little bit worse for wear. She might have taken a tough tumble there as the roughing call will go. So a 9-second 5-on-3, and now up to her feet. Good to see that, as Maya Stevenson went down hard there, kind of like a horse collar type play on the scrum. The official had a hold of the back of her jersey. She tried to leave the scrum, and she took a tough fall. So a 9-second 5-on-3 coming up here for the Wolves. We'll see if they can't capitalize quickly and still have a power play. Off a goal is that clearing attempt held in by Richards. She'll walk to the middle. McGuigan walks it in. Shot past the blocker. Another chance off the side of the net. Thomas picks it up. Backdoor. Richards bobbles the puck. LeBlanc's going to get right in out of the penalty box and right into the action. She's going to try to kill off the last minute and 40 seconds of the power play. Work back. Richards to the point. Richards is going to walk it down the wall, drive it towards the net, puck loose in front. Duncan looking to bury her, 4th point home. Duncan jams at it. McNeil giving a couple whacks. Puck was loose. Dickey in there having a couple words as Thomas was in there as well. This line's had quite a day between Thomas, Duncan, and McNeil. They've combined for 3 out of the 4 points, or 4 goals. Combined together, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on the 4 goals between the 3 of them, combining for a couple goals as Duncan leads the way. She's got 3 points. She's got a goal and 2 assists, as Thomas has just 1 assist, but McNeil has 2, a goal and an assist. Work back to the point. McGuigan shot. Pad save, steered away to the corner. McAdam trying to work it back down. McGuigan trying to hold the line, works it out though, and regrouped in the center ice area between Richards and McGuigan, who has it on the far side. She'll take it. Cross ice pass to the short side now. Centering. Doesn't connect cleanly, but picked off. Mills trying to connect with McAdam. Shot, glove save. Rebound. Back to Richards. Shot up in the air. Into the feet. Over to the far side corner. McAdam cycles for Mills. Kayla Mills down low. Gets pressured by Duguay. Puck lost in the corner. Murray in there to collect it. She'll rim it around to the far side where McGuigan chips it back down in. Marshall steps up. Clearing attempt held in at the line. Off the skate to stick. And sent back in all around the rim. Worked it back to the short side now. Richard delays. Shot blocked. Duguay. Clearing attempt goes down. And that'll just about do it for the second penalty on the roughing call. 10 seconds now remaining on the power play. As it's worked back, Stevenson. Good to see her back out there after taking a big fall in the scrum. Works it back to Pinot at the point. Half a minute remaining here in the second period of action. Gamble at the point. Out of the box, into the action. Rebound, McNeil far side. Webster going to wait in the slot. She'll get in there now to pressure the puck. Turned over. Stevenson shot into the glove and held on to for a whistle as McNeil crashed down towards the net with 12 seconds remaining here on the second period clock. An offensive zone draw for the Wolves. They couldn't capitalize on the power play, so it'll remain 4-1. Offensive zone draw. Callie McNeil here will dig in against LeBlanc. LeBlanc kicked from the draw. McNeil battles on the draw, kicks it back, far side, Pinot. Holds the line, shot attempt up in the air. Duguay bobbled in front, clearing out to the neutral zone, and that'll do it for the second period of play. So after 2 periods of play, the Wolves 4, Kraken 1. We'll be back here inside the Credit Union Place for a third period of action after this short intermission. Welcome back here for third period of action between the Fundy Kraken and the Western Wolves. The Wolves coming into the third period with a 4-1 lead here at home. Their home rink about half an hour up the road. As puck drop is underway as third period has started. That dump-in attempt goes right off the backup goaltender. Getting some action in the bench. There's number 35, Alexa Aiken. As Duguay making sure she stays sharp on the bench. On the far side, that'll click off about 7 seconds of the clock, and Somerville will collect off the draw. Try to poke it in, can't do so. Little on the far side red line, battled for, bobbled back and forth as some ping pong here in the neutral zone. Continues, puck goes back and forth. Murray goes down, she's slow to get up. She'll head off to the bench now and chipped in by Mills. Duguay to it first, backhand rim, past McAdam to the far side. Little trying to center. Stevenson picks it off the blue line, holds it momentarily. Duguay, pass intended for Somerville, too far of the reach. The icing taken away as Blacure took the wrong route to it. Beck's reversing it through her feet for Duguay towards the net. Sent wide. Mills collects in the corner. Centers, picked off. Back for Mills' shot. Steered away by Crozier. Down low. Worked back. Beck's down low once again. Turned over as that'll be picked up. Here's McPherson chipping it off of the skate of the official. Duguay stops it up. Beck's works it back over the line. 2-on-1. Dickey. Beck's shot. Blockered away into the corner. Cycled down low. Dickey on the half wall, far side. Pressured by Webster. Turns it over. Here's Stevenson. Stevenson chipping it for herself. Not touching center, and that'll go all the way down. Icing call as Bootleer gets there first. And a stoppage of play. 18:31 remaining on the third period clock. A change attempted by the Wolves. They'll have to get the players who are out there back over the boards and onto the ice. Wait to see who they send back. It looks like it's going to be McPherson and Stevenson. As Stevenson, Webster, and Richards out there with them on the defensive zone draw. Puck into the skates, battled for here and collected by Stevenson, chipping it up ahead. That intended target was Webster. She'll poke it ahead to herself in the down behind the net. On her backhand, working it up to the point. Richards cycles down low right on the tape of Duncan, poked off of her stick. Clearing attempt goes off the body and back. Duguay, D-to-D, or sorry, that was Cosman. Works it for Bootleer in the corner. She'll cut back, work it D-to-D. Cosman, and a delayed call here. Bootleer is going to go. Wait to see the signal from the official. She'll point to Bootleer, and an interference call will be charged on a Wolves power play coming up here once again. Jake Lozier asking the official about the call. 17, they'll get the 17:55 remaining on the clock. They'll redo the face-off. The Kraken only had 4 players on the ice. Duguay will join the kill here. Mills wins it back. Rimmed around, takes a bounce off the glass and out into the neutral zone over the stick of McGuigan. D-to-D, up for Thomas. Trying to work it to the middle of the ice. Turned over, worked back. McGuigan through the neutral zone. Just in front of the blue line. Hard rim to the far side. Richards will step up. Worked past her. Here's a centering pass off the skates of McNeil. Down low, Richards. That rim around, off the boards again. Takes a weird bounce as McGuigan collects it. Works it for Thomas. She'll try to cut to the middle. Thomas across the blue line. Picked up. McGuigan will cut to the middle, and a penalty call coming up here, and a hooking call will be charged. Thomas is going to go to the box. 4-on-4 action now as Thomas sits 2 for hooking the call, and some 4-on-4 action here for 1 minute and 18 seconds. The offensive zone draw for the Kraken. They'll send over Gillian and Bex here for this 4-on-4. Duguay on the point with Legier. Puck in the skates off the draw, battled for, trying to work it to the net as Crozier finds it off the side of the net on a backhand attempt from Legier. Holds on, whistle, face off, glove hand side. Gillian digs in against Murray. Murray wins it cleanly back. Pino will collect it and wheel behind her net. Take her time, trying to pick it past. Bex turns it over, down low. Legier steps in on the far side point, trying to work it to the front of the net. Duguay steps up, trying to hold it down. Pino works it back into the neutral zone. All the way down, Murray's going to give chase. Bex now covering for the defenseman, picks the puck up. 4-on-4 reverses for Legier behind the net. Stops up, move around Murray. Legier will still with it. Through the middle of the ice, trying to work it up ahead. Legier up for LeBlanc. Poked off of her stick. She'll battle with Gamble in front of the bench of the Wolves. Nice move. Here's Mills. 1-on-2. 1-on-3 really, as the rest of her line mates were changing. Mills down low. Cuts back. Gets taken down. No call. LeBlanc collects and works it now up into the middle of the ice. Turned over up in the high slot area. Worked back down low by Mills on the half wall. Mills reverses right on the stick of Stevenson. Down low. Stevenson will weave her way around to the far side. Drop it off at the point. Sent back down low. McPherson, an abbreviated 37-second power play here coming up for the Kraken. Chipped up out of the zone. Turned over though. McAdams trying to pressure Duguay into making a mistake as Duguay works it up the short side here for Catherine Dickey. She'll leave it for Gillian. Gillian towards the net. Right on Crozier. Calmly holds on for a whistle and stops play. 15 seconds remaining on the power play for the Kraken. They look to get back within 2. They trail by 3. Mills here, offensive zone draw on her backhand. She wins it on the half wall. Little pressured. 1-on-2 towards the net. Puck loose off the side of the net. Rebound. The puck was still loose. The official lost sight. And the linesman in there to separate. Looks like Little and Webster potentially. Real black here as they'll head off. It was do a quick defense change. McGuigan steps over the boards. Puck snapped back. Marshall's shot sent wide past the stick. Over to the far side. Turned over. Nice move down low. Bex out of the corner. In behind the net. She'll spin back. Looking some options. She attempted a toe drag but forgot the puck. She'll cycle it down low. McGuigan read that. Picks it off. Trying to work it up the half wall. Turned over. Here's Little battling on the half wall with Thomas. Down low. Chipped around Bex. McGuigan collects the puck over to the far side. She'll attempt to flip up in the air, fan on it, get to center. Stevenson collects the fend on flip and dumps it in. Little, far side through the middle. Got to be careful there as that almost got picked off as it was Mills collecting it, looking for it in behind her. Almost couldn't find it. Puck worked back into the neutral zone, chipping it up ahead, and a delayed call here coming up once again. Another stoppage of play for a whistle and a power play, and Thomas is going to go. Thomas, 2 minutes for head contact as she heads off to the penalty box once again, and another power play coming up for the Kraken. 14-16 remaining here in the third period. 4-1 lead. The Kraken look to break that in half here. They trail by 3. Gamble up to Duguay, holds the line. Duguay walks it in, fans on the shot. Clearing attempt right onto the stick of Murray and out into the neutral zone. Murray over the blue line. Toe drag, trying to split the D. Shot there. Blocker save by Chasson. Chip past Gamble, but not out. Held at the line. LeBlanc battles for it. Murray's pinned against the wall by Garnett. They'll still be a little battle going on there, and a delayed icing call on a errored pass by Duguay, and a icing charged here against the Kraken. They're actually up a player here right now. They have a power play for the next minute, 26 seconds, if they can't score before that time. They scored their first power play goal of the season last game. One back, good job by Dickey. D to D, Duguay. Up, getting a stick on it was LeBlanc. McPherson on the rim. Dickey tries to keep it down low. Dickey towards the net, off the stick of McPherson and into the corner. Backhanded up to the point. Duguay will walk, work it D to D. Shot there, pad save by Crozier. LeBlanc on the half wall. Chipped out, though, by McNeil into the neutral zone. All the way back now into the Kraken zone will be Cosman. Working it up the wall under the stick, kind of handcuffed. LeBlanc between the boards. And trying to get it before it hit the boards. Those are always tough plays. Here's Catherine Dickey. Pass intended, picked off by McGuigan. Shot wide blocker side as the intended target was Bex, but McGuigan stepping up and taking away the pass, working it in for a shot attempt. Held just inside of the red line, battled here for just below us. Is a little bit of ping pong continuing here. Somerville now, she'll try to set things up. 10 seconds remaining on the power play. She gets taken down. No call on the play. Duncan goes down with her. Kinley Duncan trying to clear. Bouncing puck goes all the way out and into the Kraken zone. Bootlier will collect it, and that'll do it for their power play. Far side pass right onto the stick of Beck. She'll work it back into her own zone and pick up some speed. She fanned on that pass intended for Legier. She'll get it now and dump it in. Legier on the high flip. Down low, McGuigan. In behind her own net. Nice pass into the middle of the ice. Finds Stevenson. Through the neutral zone. Stevenson over the blue line. Drives wide on her forehead. Stevenson drops a shoulder shot. Pad save. Chasson up for the task. Down low, stepping up was Legier. Clearing attempt not out. Now it will get out as Pinot sends it right back in, though, and Bootlier collects it in behind her goal line. She'll stop up. Direct pass right onto the tape of Somerville. She'll make a move around the defenseman who pinched in. Try to get to center. Not in all the way. Just in now over the line. Pinot right off the bench connects with Murray. She stepped off the bench and got right into the action. Goes under her stick, though. Here's a chance. Murray pushes it ahead. Murray in alone. Murray backhand. Shot forehand as it goes wide and cleared back to the point on a pad save by Chasson. Shot there. Blocked in front as that puck worked back to the point. Gamble walks middle. Shot. Sent wide past the glove. Over to the far side. Rickardson battles. Down low, Mills kicking it, picking up the loose puck out of the corner, trying to work it to the net was McAdam, but it was poked off of her stick and worked out into the neutral zone. Good job to stick with it. Here is Richard. Over the line, she'll drop the shoulder, knocked off of her stick though by Blackcure, and back the other way come the Wolves. Cross ice pass intended for McAdam, too far out of her reach. Duguay collects it, chipping it off the glass and all the way down for an icing call as Sarah Duguay, intended target, was nowhere to be found. And with 10:24, an icing call here charged with the Kraken. They'll have to go back for a defensive zone draw. They trail by 3. McNeil, Thomas, and Duncan out there combining for 5 points between the three of them here in this afternoon matchup. McNeil trying to poke it ahead forward. One down low, Marshall gets it off of her stick, was Thomas down the far side. Working it up, trying to backhand it to the middle. Does work out as McNeil picks it up and cycles it down low. Connected there, Little chips it out. D to D pass, intended target. Garnett picks it off, back the other way. As McPherson was a little bit in behind for a hinge. It went straight across the line. Doesn't connect cleanly, but now it's worked back ahead for McNeil, too far out of her reach. Thomas gets there first and takes away the icing. She gets taken down. Boutlier is going to go to the box here. Looks like as Boutlier is going to go. Another power play coming up here for the Wolves. Holding will be the call. And a power play coming up for the Wolves. 9:42 remaining on the clock. Face off. One. Dickey trying to clear to the point and out just barely as it'll be regrouped in the neutral zone. McGuigan. Far side. Richards getting stepped up on by Legier. LeBlanc trying to backhand it down. Can't do so. Webster will work it in over the line. Charlie Webster down low on her backhand, cutting back, leaves it there for Stevenson. He'll take it down, shot off the rebound. Another chance for McGuigan at the point. Webster down low, will stop and go. She'll work it, leave it there for McGuigan. She'll walk it in. McGuigan shot into the chest protector, right into the Kraken logo, and holding on for a whistle is Chasson. 36 seconds has expired here in the third period of play. 36 seconds in the power play has expired here in the third period of play. 4-1 lead for the Wolves. Offensive zone draw. We'll stick with the line of Webster, Stevenson, and Stevenson is, here's a chance in front, tipped in by Stevenson in front, and they score on a nothing seemingly innocent play towards the front of the net. Getting a stick on it for her second goal of the game is Maya Stevenson. "5-1 lead now at home for the Wolves. As no, that wasn't her. She was in on the 2-on-0 with McGuigan. Now she'll pick up her first goal. I think it's going to be Richards going to pick up the assist, and 5-on-5 action back underway here on a power play goal by the Wolves to extend their lead to 4. So Maya Stevenson picking up the goal. Maddie Richards picking up the primary assist. Crozier getting in the way in the crease there as Garnett, pressured. Heads up, Duguay making a nice play on it as she was falling. Turned over though and back the other way, Pino. Trying to work it down low. Misha Pino centers, cleared away. Somerville collects and works it up the half wall now. Gamble steps in, pokes it past Garnett down low. Gamble trying to get it back out of harm's way and get it as far away from that blue line as possible. Thomas centers for Mills. Can't get enough on it. Marshall rimming it up the wall. And back on down low. Murray centering pass goes through everyone. Gamble steps up, blocker saved by Chasson. Rebound collected by Garnett. She'll reverse it in behind for Duguay. Duguay, the lone goal for the Kraken here so far in this game. She had a nice slap shot from the point. It beat the blocker side of Crozier. Shot there goes off the glove of Peyton Crozier. Collected though and wheeled up. Here's Duncan. She'll take her time through the neutral zone. Duncan can't get center. Tip though on the dump, and that'll take away the icing. Chasson stomps the puck up. Cosman picked off Blackure. Shot patted into the corner. Another chance in front. Blackure centers past everyone to the far side where Webster will collect it and work it towards the net. Poked off her stick in the high slot. She'll cycle it back down low. As it got poked off of her stick, she had some good speed coming off the point. As now she'll work it back to the point. Here's Blackure, walks in, shot, looking for a stick off the skate of Duguay. Far side. Stepping up, McPherson cycles. Duguay off the glass, rimming it back. Held in by Blackure towards the net. Kicked away. McPherson steps up, cycling. Duguay rimming it around and behind. Cosman reversing it back up the same side. Cosman wheeling, chipping it into the neutral zone. McPherson D-to-D. Across the Capitals logo here at center ice and sent back in by Blackure. Chasson stops up. Duguay reverses back up the short side. Garnett. Skate to stick. Chipping it all the way down. And McPherson right there Works it across, right onto the stick of Stevenson. She bobbled it though, but picked up as that'll be Maya Stevenson down low, helping out her sister Millie in there, 2-on-3. Battling down low, back to McGuigan, bobbled it and into the neutral zone, across the Capitals logo here at center ice, and sent back in by Stevenson. That's Millie. Out to play it was Chasson. She runs into Stevenson, and a delayed call here now as Stevenson tried to cut in between the goaltender and the net as Chasson tried to get back to her net, and that'll be an interference call as Maya Stevenson is now going to get on both sides of the score sheet here on the penalty side as she had the last goal and now takes a penalty for interference, and the face-off's going to go all the way back into the Wolves zone here. Power play for the Kraken. 5:45 remaining in the third and final period. Gillian loses the draw. McGuigan picks it up and rims it all the way around off the glass, 200 feet. Chasson rimming it back up the far side wall. Duguay chipping it up ahead for Mills. She'll push that up ahead. Worked up and too far out of the reach there of Little and sent back down by McGuigan. Chasson leaves it. Now she'll play it around for Duguay on the far side. Chipped up ahead. Through the feet though. Now Gillen chipping it in. Mills will collect and work it back through center. Headman pass. Here's a chance. McNeil on her backhand for it. Backhand trying to slide it 5-hole. Shutting the door. And McNeil hanging around there as the puck was loose for a second. Dickey in there to have a word with her. McNeil in there not shying away from the confrontation of Catherine Dickey. Having a talk with the official or the linesman. Callie McNeil will stay on the ice for the offensive zone draw. They're shorthanded for another minute and 21 seconds. One back, Pinot dumping it off the high glass, down in low for McNeil. McNeil trying to work it out, loses control of it, and picked up, collected, and worked out by Legier. She'll get the blue line, drive it down, drop pass there for LeBlanc. She'll work it in, shot wide off the pad. As it goes picked up, Becks down the far side. Heidi Becks back to the point. Cosman bobbles the puck as she stick handled it outside the blue line over her stick. Worked it back for LeBlanc, who dumps it in and peels off for a change. Gamble gets to it first in the corner, reels behind her net, clearing right up the gut through the middle of the ice and all the way down. Chasson out to play it there. Plays it right onto the stick of Cosman, who will wheel in behind, find the safety of her net. Works it up for Duguay. 30 seconds now here remaining on the power play. Turnover in the high neutral zone. Cleared up to the point. Duguay steps in off the point. Trying to work it down low. Running into her own teammate though. And mixing it up there with Stevenson. With Duguay steered away by Crozier to the far side corner. Dumping attempt there. Goes all the way down the full length of the ice. Good job to clear it down and kill off as much time as she possibly can. Was number 16 for the Wolves. Miley Stevenson. Mills picks it up in the neutral zone, pressured by Stevenson. Dump in attempt. Picked up though by McGuigan. Far side. Here's the 3-point getter. And Duncan across the blue line, poked off of her stick and worked right back. Here's Catherine Dickey. 5-on-5 action now continuing. Here's Dickey, works it over the blue line. McNeil turns it over and back. Here comes Callie McNeil, 3-on-1. McNeil drives it down. Shot, glove save, rebound. As Thomas tried to bury home the rebound attempt off the glove. Back to the point, shot to the corner. McNeil picks it up. Cycles down low for Thomas. Webster parks herself in front. That attempt for her doesn't connect. McGuigan's shot tipped a couple times. Fighting that off was Chasson into the corner. McNeil centers. Picked off though. Now it'll be picked up. Here's Thomas for McNeil off a body in front and cleared back into the corner. Mills will collect it. Clearing attempt. Held at the line. Backhanded back in by Richards. She has a assist on the last goal. Up the wall. Here's Mills. Centering pass out of the reach of Richards, but Wilcox will get it out to center and sent right back in, though, by McGuigan. Hard rim, far side, Wilcox. Centers, right onto the tape. Nice job to collect the puck. So I'll try to kill off some time here to try to get it out of their zone. As it goes back down, Pinot in behind her net. She'll wheel, not stop up. She keeps her feet moving. Good burst of speed there. She'll cut up the wall, chip it to herself. Give chase down on Duguay. Misha Pinot on the forecheck. Down the wall, down in behind the net. Pinot in front. Gamble steps up, pokes it down low. As that play tried to work it to her defense partner. She'll head off for a change. Misha Pinot with a hard-working shift there. Murray just holds a line down low off the stick near the midsection as McAdam tried to work it back as Mills deflected it to her. Mills cycles down low. Murray off the half wall, shot blocked. Minute and 20 seconds remaining now on the clock. Murray down low trying to get it out front. McAdam shot into the chest and held on to by Meka Chasson for a whistle. Here with a minute and 15 seconds remaining on the clock. Chasson with a nice chest protector save there. No rebound on the chance in front. Point blank from McAdam as her, Mills, and Murray out there will head off for a change. Webster, Stevenson, and Stevenson now, and Maya and Millie as coming on now will be Blackure. And the point is she's out there with Ferguson on this offensive zone draw. McPherson battled Webster, trying to work it right off the draw. She'll just chip it in. Dickey off the glass. Back to the half wall. The Kraken look to break it out. Somerville dishes to the middle. That'll be Little across the line. Drives it down on the far side with her forehand. She'll cut back, turn it over. Stevenson chipping it up ahead. Now she'll chip it right in on net. Chasson clearing it to Dickey. Pressured those. That's Miley. Stevenson is here's Blackure will step up and work it in. Blackure has a player driving the net. That's Thomas in front, sent wide. Thomas trying to extend their lead late in the third period. They lead by 4. 5-1 the score. Here is Mills through the neutral zone. Inside half a minute remaining in the final period of action. Here live on High Button Sports from the Credit Union Place in Summerside. PEI as McNeil gets to it first. That'll take away the icing. She'll decide to spin it back down low. Dickey working it for Duguay up the wall. Now for Somerville on the half wall. She'll stop back. 10 seconds remaining. Shot there, sent wide. McNeil over to the far side. Has Duncan in front. She's looking for her fourth point. McNeil in behind. That'll do it here on the centering pass. And after 3 periods of play, the Kraken 1, the Wolves 5, as they take the win here at home inside the Credit Union Place here in Summerside. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Carruthers with High Button Sports. Make sure you stay tuned for more action here from the showcase in Summerside. But that's all for me, folks. Thank you and have a great one.